Today's topic is multiplying complex numbers. You're going to be able to multiply complex numbers in A plus BI form. Vocab. Hopefully by now you have the first four values of I memorized. I equals square root of negative 1. I squared, negative 1. I cubed, negative I. And I to the fourth, 1. We are going to be focusing a lot on I squared equaling negative 1. Example 1, we're going to multiply I times 5i. Similar to exponents, imaginary numbers have powers. This is I to the power of 1, I to the power of 1. When I multiply, I add those powers, giving me 5i squared. Now, the reason why we're going to be using I squared is because I squared equals a negative 1, going from an imaginary number to a real number. So I'm going to replace I squared with negative 1, giving me 5 times negative 1 equaling negative 5. Similar to multiplying polynomials, you can use the distributive method. I'm going to start by timesing 7 by 4, which is 28, and 7 times 3i, which is 21i. I still need to distribute the 2i. 2i times 4, 8i, and 2i times 3i gives me 6i squared. Always look for those I squareds, because I can replace it with negative 1. So now I have 6 times negative 1 equaling negative 6. I need to leave my answer in the A plus BI form. So I need to combine my real parts, 28, and now negative 6 is a real part. 28 minus 6 gives me 22. And my imaginary parts, BI, 21i, 8i, gives me 29i, leaving my answer in A plus BI form. You can also use the box method. So let's set it up. I'm going to put 5 and negative 2i on the top, negative I and 2 on the side. Create my boxes. And let's multiply. 5 times negative I gives me negative 5i. 5 times 2, 10. Negative 2i times a negative I, well, the negative times a negative is going to give me a positive 2. I times I gives me an I squared. And last, negative 2i times 2, negative 4i. But if you know, I have an I squared, so I'm going to replace that with a negative 1, switching it to a negative 2. If I combine my real parts, 10 and negative 2, that will give me 8. Then if I combine my imaginary parts, negative 5i, negative 4i, negative 9i. Example 4, choose either method to solve. Try this one on your own, pause the video, and check your answer when you're done. I'm going to use the distributive method. Start off with 4 times negative 2, negative 8. 4 times negative 5i, negative 20i. Distributing the 2i, 2i times negative 2, negative 4i, and 2i times negative 5i, negative 10i squared. Always look for those I squareds, so I can replace it with a negative 1. So now I have negative 10 times negative 1, giving me a positive 10. Combine your real parts, negative 8 and 10 gives me a real part of 2. And negative 20i and negative 4i gives me negative 24i. Can you multiply complex numbers in a plus bi form, always replacing I squared with -1? If you need more help, you know what to do.